Hey guys, it's Sarah Schneider with nurserylife.org. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. So today I want to talk about something a little bit different. I wanted to talk about manifesting and the power of our thoughts and the power of visualization and how that influences your success in having a health-centered life. So hold on one second. I'm going to go shut my door because my husband opened it. Hold on. Okay, sorry. And you see my heating pad because, yeah, my back is like chapped up today. Okay, I need to do some visualization and manifesting around that. Okay, so one of the things that I don't talk about as often in here, and I probably should talk about more, is this idea of manifesting. And manifesting is just a big word for creating. And sometimes when we hear the word manifest, especially if we're coming from a Christian background or some sort of faith-based background, whether you're Jewish or Christian or whatever, we feel like manifesting sounds a little bit woo-woo, right? But what manifesting is, it's just creating. And we know that from the scriptures, we've heard scriptures, or there are scriptures that say things like, ask and you shall receive, things like that, right? So it really does go hand in hand. And it's not as scary as it kind of sounds, right? Or like woo-woo as it sounds. But manifesting and the power of positive thought, the power of visualization is so important when we are looking at creating a health-centered life. Because manifesting, all that means is creating. So if you want to create a health-centered life, hey Alexis, if you want to create a health-centered life, yeah, you have to do a lot of things that, like the traditional route, right? At least I think so. Yes, the prayer of Jabez as well. I know it really does have a lot of different pieces in the Christian faith as well. So I believe in traditional good nutritional science because I got a degree in dietetics, for crying out loud, right? I definitely believe in the power of nourishing foods and the power of healing your gut and all of these important things that we put into our bodies. I also believe in the power of thought and the power of visualization. So I was just talking in another group about this. But thoughts are incredibly powerful. And what I was talking to them about was this idea that when you are manifesting, so some people will talk about how, they focus on a number and they'll put down, like, let's say 135 pounds. They write it down and they put all of their positive thoughts around this one number and they're visualizing this one number, and it doesn't come into fruition. It doesn't work for them. And the reason it doesn't work for them is because they're focusing on a number. And I've said this a billion times, but I'll say this forever and ever and ever and ever. The reason that it doesn't work, the reason that focusing on numbers don't always work is because that number is going to trick or going to cause your logical brain to say that that's impossible. That's the first thing, right? It'll tell you that your logical brain will tell you, like, that number is impossible. You've never been that weight in your life, right? Or whatever it is. Or if you have 45 pounds to lose, like, you've never lost anything over 20 and you gained it back right away. Or whatever it is that your brain tells you, right? Your brain will tell you that it's impossible, and then it becomes impossible. So instead of focusing on this 135 pound number, whatever, it's all about focusing on or manifesting or creating or visualizing or thinking about what you want to receive, what that number represents to you. So 135, that number means absolutely nothing, because let's be honest with you. If you took, or let's be honest with with ourselves, right? If you took your body and you were 135 pounds and you were pure muscle, it's going to look completely different than 135 pounds from, not eating very well and eating a lot of sugar and just being kind of soft, right? So that's why we can't focus on the number, because the number doesn't mean anything. But the number in your head, like whatever number you put in your head, so whether it's 135 or 150 or whatever, or maybe it's a weight loss number, right? I want to lose 45 pounds, or I want to lose 20 pounds. Skinny fat is what they call it. Yes, Emily, skinny fat. But either way, that number inside of your head represents something to you. And that's what it comes down to, is knowing what that number represents. What do you want to receive if that number were true to you, right? So everybody has that number in their head. Let's say, you know, it's 135. If I was 135 pounds, that would mean what? What would you be able to do? How would you feel? If I was 135 pounds, and I would be able to throw on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and I would feel really comfortable in my own body, right? If I was 135 pounds, I would be able to go run that marathon that I've been wanting to run for years, which is not me, because I never want to run a marathon in my life ever. Like, that's never going to be a goal for me. But whatever it is, right, 135 pounds, that means that I can walk onto an airplane and sit in the seat comfortably and not feel judged by everybody else around me, and be able to click my seatbelt like that and not have to wonder if I'm going to get a seatbelt extension, right? Like, that's what these numbers are representing. And that's what you need to focus on, and that is what you need to manifest. So when I say manifest, I'm talking like power of thought, power of visualization. That's what you need to visualize for yourself. And it's all about accessing and tapping into those feelings, those positive feelings. So you can't manifest greatness in your life. You can't create greatness in your life if you're feeling negative. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, you can't do that. Some people say you can, but it'll come with negativity. Like, whatever you manifest will come with negativity. I don't even know about that. I don't think it works for me. But either way, you can't manifest greatness if you're feeling negative. So today, let's do something a little bit different. Let's, number one, start thinking about what it is that you want to receive, what that number represents, because that's what we need to focus on, and that's what we have to manifest for ourselves, right? That's what we have to create for ourselves. So if you're thinking about, I don't know, being able to do a 35-minute workout without getting winded, or if you're able to, you know, play with your kids at the park and not have to sit at the bench and say like, oh, I'm just really tired, guys, or whatever. If you want to wake up with loads of energy so that you can get things done during the day, like, that's a big one for me. My husband and I, we have 4 kids collectively, and he, to zip line, yes, like, here's the thing about zip lining, and we did this a few years ago in Colorado, and I was so grateful that I was in good shape, because not only do you have to meet a weight requirement, you have to stand on a scale in front of a bunch of people so that they can figure out the resistance for the harnesses. So you're standing there, you're stepping on a scale in front of loads of people, and everybody is like, someone will like yell your number to another guy who's like, oh yeah, okay, and he like fixes your thing. Then you have to get into this harness, and they like hook you in. So this guy is like touching you, not inappropriately, but touching you. And if you're not feeling good and like about your body, the one you want to do is 2 hours. Wow, that's like really intense. But not only do they want, like, do they yell your number to somebody, but they touch you all over as they're getting into this harness. And if you're not feeling really good about your body and feeling really good about yourself, this is not going to be the positive experience you want it to be. Then you have to be able to be physically in shape enough to be able to hold on, even though you're like strapped in, but hold on and be able to do all the things that you have to do, like lean back and do all this stuff before you come into like the landing, okay? So when I say like zip lining down a mountain, that's a pretty big thing. Or, you know, do you want to be able to feel better physically? Like, does that 135 pounds means that, you know, you actually feel good inside your body, right? Like, your body feels good. Your body's not, you know, you're not having problems with blood sugar issues. You're not having problems with IBS. You're not having problems with skin issues, right? All of these things represent what you want to receive out of that number. So instead of focusing on a number that means absolutely nothing, because we could be 145 pounds of pure muscle and 145 pounds of, 40% body fat or whatever it is, what do you want to receive? What does that number give you? And seriously, write that stuff down. Go deep. What does that number really mean? And that is what you visualize. That is what you journal on. That is where your positive thoughts go. So like, let's say that you want to heal your gut, because that's a part of the, so that's what you want to receive. And then you also have to figure out, like, focusing on the process, right? Because if you are one of my clients, or if you have seen all my stuff, it's all about focusing on the process. That's my philosophy. We don't focus on numbers. We don't focus on the end result. We focus on the process. And if you focus on the process, I'm like talking a moment today. If you focus on the process, then the end result is going to happen inevitably. Like, it has to happen. But you're not going to have your logical brain override you. That's the thing. We actually knock out your logical brain that tells you you can't do something, and we focus on the process, because the process feels doable because it's little chunks, right? Yes, can anybody eat, 3 cups of vegetables a day? Like, I'm not saying that this is part of my program at all. I'm just making this up. But like, if you decide that you wanted to eat 3 cups of vegetables today, does that feel doable to your logic brain? Absolutely. If you want to, meditate for 5 minutes, does that feel doable? Absolutely. Meditation reduces stress. Stress reduces cortisol. Cortisol reduces, like, less cortisol, less weight, right? Like, these things are all tied together. So it's about focusing on the process, focusing on what you want to do to get there. So maybe you're manifesting, or you're visualizing, or you're having positive thoughts about, healing your gut. Maybe that's something that you really want to do. You want to heal your gut. And once you heal your gut, then all of the other stuff falls into place, right? So this is twofold. Manifesting or creating the life that you want to live through positive thoughts and visualization, on top of everything else. Like, you can't just do one or the other, okay? But on top of everything else, is really about focusing on the process and focusing on what you want to receive. One of the things that somebody brought up was, in this other chat I did, she talked about visualizing and manifesting. She's like, okay, so do I visualize my perfect ideal body, or do I visualize the feelings that I want from that body, right? And it's twofold. It's absolutely twofold. Yes, do you visualize a healthy body that is able to do everything that you want it to do? Absolutely. Do we have to be careful about what that perfect body looks like? Yes, because here's the thing. When we think of perfection, we think of the media's version of perfection, and that's Photoshop. Even if you are a healthy weight, there is a high likelihood, because you are a human being, that there's going to be some cellulite. There's going to be some stretch marks. There's going to be, you're going to have pores on your face, right? Because people have pores. Like, these things that get airbrushed out, we just have to be really careful about visualizing, an impossible thing. We need to visualize human perfection, right? And that human ideal body. So just making sure that our expectations aren't based on the, like, absolutely impossible. Because when we do that, then we'll never be happy. That goes into, because you guys know my programs and my philosophy is so, it's like full circle, right? There's so many pieces to it, but if we do that, then we are not going to feel good about ourselves, right? Then that's when the negative thought gremlin starts swirling, because here we have reached our goal and it's still not enough, because we're not absolutely perfect. We don't have the perfect porcelain skin. We don't have, we have stretch marks on our hips, or we have a little bit of extra skin, or whatever it is. And that is not going to get you where you want to be, right? So visualize, visualize, visualize that ideal body, but more importantly, tap into those amazing feelings that you have, right? Tap into all of those feels. Tap into all of that joy that bubbles up within you when you think about what that would look like. Like Emily, you talked about zip lining down a mountain. Tap into those feelings of joy and exhilaration, and like just like that excitement, right? As you're like flying down the mountain with your hair like behind you, right? Tap into that when you're visualizing, and your thoughts, the positive thoughts of what you want, right? But it's not about the end goal. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, it's not about a number. It's not about manifesting some silly number, or a certain number of pounds of weight loss, or whatever that is. It's about focusing on the process. Focusing on and manifesting each little piece of the process. Because let's just look at it this way. If you manifest, or create, or visualize, or have positive thoughts about healing your gut, right? And you start eating a lot of nourishing foods, and you're being really positive about how your gut health is going to improve, and you're going to be able to heal, your digestive issues like IBS or whatever it is, right? You heal your gut, you reduce inflammation, you lose weight. Like, it's that simple, right? So instead of manifesting the weight loss piece of it that feels really, really hard, you manifest the gut healing, you focus on the gut healing, you're going to reduce inflammation, it's just going to happen, and then you're going to reduce your weight naturally and easily, like without effort. So the logical brain doesn't have to even focus on something that doesn't feel like it's possible. We sidetrack that, right? It's like our little, what is it called? Like our loophole. That's what it is. It's our loophole to get around the logical brain that's going to sabotage your efforts. So like I said, the power of thoughts, the power of visualization is absolutely incredible. Now, so how do you do it, right? That's like the next thing that I always get is like, okay, well, that's great, but how do I do that? Positive thoughts, it's just that. It's flipping everything around. I think I talked about this on Saturday or Sunday. But either way, like if you're having a thought about how, like, why is this so hard for me? Like, why is it so hard for me and it's so easy for everybody else? If you're having that thought, stop. Literally catch yourself in that moment and stop. And then flip it around to something that serves you. So if you're saying, like, why can't I do this? Like, why is it so hard for me and so easy for everybody else? It's going to be hard for you. So instead, say, like, why is this so easy for me? And at first, it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself. Pivot. Yes, Emily. At first, you're going to feel like you're lying to yourself, right? At first, it's going to feel like a big, fat lie. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. This feels so stupid. But eventually, over and over and over, just say, this is easy for me. I'm just one of those people that it comes easy to me. It comes naturally to me, right? And then it will become easier. Then you will find ease. You will lean into ease. You will find that you have more ease in your life. More ease is coming to you because you are saying that this is what I want. I want it to be easy. But I can almost guarantee you, if you are struggling with your weight, you are saying some pretty nasty, negative things to yourself. You are. I can guarantee it. I've been there. I've done that. I know this struggle. So the best thing that you can do is to pivot, to stop, say exactly the opposite, say what you want. Quit focusing on what you don't want. Put out there what you want, and then keep doing it and believe it and believe that it's possible, right? And even if you doubt yourself at the beginning, like people talk about how like, oh, you can't have any doubt. Even if you doubt yourself at the beginning, that's okay. Because what you're going to do is you're going to keep doing it. And then all of a sudden you are going to start believing. And it is going to become easy. And once you start seeing it start, like happening, it gets easier and easier to do it. And then visualizing. Visualizing is so important. So when you write out your list, of like the process, the things that you want to manifest in the process, and then things that you want to manifest to receive, visualize that. Visualize that happening. So whatever it is that you want to receive, visualize you doing it. If you want to run a marathon, visualize that every single day. If you want to visualize getting stronger, if you want stronger arms, that's so in right now, right? Super toned arms. Visualize what that's going to do for you. Are you going to be able to lift more at the gym? Are you going to be able to pick up your kids and walk half a mile to the car, from the zoo? What are you going to be able to do? Like, what does that give you? And visualize that. If it's about the process, visualize what it's going to be like to know which foods to eat for your nourishment blueprint, and how that influences like your gut health, how that feels. Like, I know that I can't have too much dairy, right? I'm lactose intolerant. So just knowing that, right? Visualizing that I'm not running to the bathroom. Visualizing that I eat and I am happy afterwards. That's what you visualize. Like, man, I know exactly what to eat and I'm happy and I'm full of energy, and that's what you visualize. And I know it sounds kind of silly, and I know that for some people it feels bizarre almost. It feels kind of stupid, but it really does work. You just have to try it. You have to do it. And this is a part of the process. This is a part of, living a nourished life. This is a part of, you have to take the whole science stuff. You have to take the nutrition stuff. But you also have to do all that mindset stuff. And this is the easiest way to shift the mindset. I promise you, this is the easiest way to shift the mindset. This and gratitude. The more grateful you are for what is working, the more that will work in your life. So that's another thing, is if that's something that you've noticed that you keep focusing on what's not working, be grateful. Write a top 10 grateful list right now, like this moment, so you can experience that shift. It's all about inducing all of those joy, peace, filled, like amazing positive feelings, and then taking those feelings and pushing it into the life that you want to live. Okay, folks? All right, I am going to wrap up for the day. If you guys have any questions, PM me. Also, January 4th is the start date of the next group program. So if 2018 is your year, join me. But you have to PM me first. Let's chat. See if this is right for you. It's a 3-month deep dive course. You get me every single day for 3 months via Voxer. You can call me. And if you have any questions throughout your journey, you don't have to wait till the next coaching session and all that good stuff. You get all the incredible bonuses, the bonuses for December, and you get the bonus for January, which is like the Best Body, Best Life course, which is awesome. Well, it's a 90-minute class, and we're going to map out your 2018 so that you are not just living a healthy life, like you're not just in the body that you want to be in 2018, but you're living the life that you want to live in the body that you want to have, because that's what good nutrition gives you, right? That's what good nutrition affords you, the life that you want to live. So we're going to map that out. And that is it. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you need anything, let me know, PM me, and we'll chat. Bye, guys.